everyone, Jane here. Thank you so much for watching today. As we are getting towards the end of the year, I thought it would be a good time to have a little review of the haul that I got at the end of last year. So for 2024, I did, at the end of 2024 I should say, I did a Christmas and birthday haul video. Now I don't do very many haul videos because I don't tend to buy in bulk loads and loads of things at the same time, but also I'm the sort of person as soon as something comes in that I bought, I like to use it. So I'm not very good at building things up to do a big haul, so I don't tend to do haul videos very often. But my birthday falls just before Christmas and I tend to just ask for art and craft supplies at that time because they're the things that I tend to ask for things that I wouldn't necessarily buy for myself but that I would really like to try and use. So I have got a video up from last year, so what I will do is at the end of this video, in the little card bits at the end, I will put that video there, and I will also add a link in the description box below so that you can go straight and watch me actually do the haul video. So I got a number of items. I had to go back and have a look and see what it was that I got, and over the course of this year, some of them I have used quite a lot, some of them maybe not so much, but I thought it'd be fun just to have a little look and see what did I actually use, because we often see haul videos of people unboxing loads and loads of things, but we don't necessarily then see, well, how did it go? Did they use them? Did they like them? So I thought I'd do that today. So here is what I got, and I thought I'd sort of just put them in a pile and work through them as we go. Now some of them aren't looking quite the same as when I got them, and I'll explain to that when I get to them. Now the first thing I thought I would look at is these Copic acrylics, and if you look at the pens themselves, you can see these have been used. They've been well used. I have really enjoyed these pens. Now they are an acrylic marker from Copic, and they have a nice fine tip. Now the set I asked for was basically the essential set, so it had a white, a black, a sepia, a gold, a silver and a grey in them. And I did have to replace one pen, I have to admit. The white pen I did ruin. I can't remember what I did with it. I did say it in one of my videos, but I did have to replace that individually because, to be honest, that is my most used of the set. So from this set, the colours I use nearly all the time. The white I use all the time. It will probably run out quite soon. The black one I use a lot, and the gold one I use a lot. The other three I would say I don't use as much, but to be quite honest, if you was buying these three individually, it would probably be almost the same price to buy the whole set. So that's where those are, those things work out. So Copic acrylics, a really good pen. I really like them. They're not the cheapest, but if you wanted them as a gift, I would say they are really nice. I haven't gone for any of the other coloured sets at the moment because these are the colours I mostly use when I'm using acrylic markers, but they were a hit. Right, the next thing I've got here is I've got this little Paul Rubens sketchbook. It's a hot press watercolour sketchbook, and to be honest, I didn't realise the size of it when I asked for it. Now, I haven't used this on camera, but I have used it for myself. So I've used it with my stamps and colouring mediums. It is perforated pages, which are not my favourite. I've used a few. I haven't used the whole book, but I have had fun playing. It's a nice small size. It's very smooth paper, and I've been trying different mediums on it as well. So I've done a little bit in it, not tons and tons, but I have used it. So a semi-hit. Then I did ask for this Bower Bird palette. Now this is a beautiful palette. I still think it's beautiful, and it is, oh, can't open it, a ceramic insert. Now I did fill it and I have used it a little bit, but I have to admit I have not used this anywhere near as much as I thought I would, and it has two main flaws for me, which I didn't realise when I asked for it, because at the time I wasn't as much into doing watercolours, but now I am, so I've sort of learned what I like and don't like. My number one flaw is the little wells are very, very small, So I can only use little tiny paintbrushes. So I can only really use it if I want to do like painting, colouring in an image. I can't really use it for big washes. And also this ceramic insert means this is a really heavy palette. So I can't really take it anywhere with me. I wouldn't use it as a travel palette. It just sits in my sort of my box where all my other watercolour palettes are. So in hindsight, probably not the best choice, but it was a present and I love the tin and I do like the ceramic palette. So, you know, I don't use it that often, but it is still really, really pretty. So another one, I was going through, obviously this year has been my year of using lots of watercolours. So one of the things I asked for was some core watercolour sets. Now I can't remember, I haven't looked back to check which ones I got, but I think I got a couple of core watercolour sets. I already had the high chroma, I'm pretty sure, and I may have asked for the classic set and the earth tone set, I'm not sure, but you will see in here it's no longer really got the tubes in because I have used most of my tubes putting them into other palettes. So you will see that I have sort of gone through and decanted most of these. I've now got this as just a little tin to hold any that are left, plus a couple of random other paints that I've got here. I'll say it around, there's only two. This is all I've got left of all of my core that I haven't put into other palettes. So I will show you how I've done that because, oops, I've got this big palette. So I have a little bit in the Bowerbird palette, and then I have this big palette, which all of this top row and down to, I think, around about here, they are all the core colours that I had. Well, I have 18 because I had the 3 sets of 6. I really love them, I have to say. They are one of my favourites, especially if you want something with lots of movement, really high pigmentation. They are beautiful paints, and I would highly recommend them. Again, they're not the cheapest of paints, but if you're just buying a couple at a time or you just want to ask as a special gift, I think they're totally beautiful paints to use. And keeping on the paint theme, I also asked for the Rosa Gallery classic set. Now, when I open this, you will again see that it doesn't any longer look like it. It was 12 full pans. No, it might be more than that. I'll have to check in a minute. But I have reconstituted this little palette for some other paints because I now have a bigger palette that I've made into my Rosa Gallery palette, and I have in here, so these big ones are the ones that came out of that initial classic set. Oops, sticking to me. I think these must have honey or something in them because they're very, very sticky. So I've redone a palette where I've got the classic colours, and then I've gradually built up a number of tubes to round out my palette to give a wider sort of distribution of colours. So I really do like this palette. I think these paints are really good value. They are much, much cheaper than a lot of other paints in the same sort of range. I think when I've seen other people describe it, I'm not an expert on watercolours, but I would say they were like a decent enough professional paint, probably not up there with those top paints, but you know, for the price they are fantastic and I really like them, except when I'm getting them all over me. So I have really enjoyed the Rosa Gallery paints, and again they're something I would say has been a hit. I asked for a set of these Neptune watercolour brushes by Princeton. Now these are absolutely beautiful brushes. I really do love them. You get, in this particular set that I asked for, you get a 3/4 inch square wash, a 1/2 inch oval wash, a round 12 and a round 4, and they are very, very soft. So I do use them. I will be making a video coming up in December about my the art supplies that have sparked joy in 2025, and in there I will be showing you some different paintbrushes which I have found suit my sort of painting maybe a bit more, but when you're doing things where you want to be quite loose and quite washy, these are really beautiful brushes, and I do use them. I wouldn't say for a second I don't use them. This one, especially the oval wash, is really fun, and I do love a big flat brush as well. So I would say they are beautiful brushes. Again, they're a little bit more on the pricey side, but again, for a gift, they're beautiful. I use them, but I don't use them probably as much as I thought I would. Okay, getting down to the last few now. I'll do this one next. Oil pastels. I really wanted some oil pastels, really wanted to try out oil pastels. Love the idea of them. I made a video, again I'll put a link to that in the description box, where I swatched them out and did a little bit of playing with them. I did that video. I think I used them, or one or two of them, on top of some stuff in another video, but I'm going to be completely honest, that's it. That's as much as I have used them for. There is nothing wrong with these oil pastels. They're beautiful. They are really well pigmented. They are nice and soft. They are fun to use. The biggest issue I have is that they're a medium that needs to be either used in and of itself, I think, or it has to go as a last layer on your project if you're doing mixed media, because you can't use things over the top of them. Also, because they never fully dry, you have to either protect your in between your pages, or you have to seal your pages. And I did buy some Sennelier spray, but I find it a bit of a faff, to be quite honest. So they're not the first thing I reach for. There they are, looking almost as pristine as nearly 1 year ago. So, you know, like everything, it's what suits your way of creating. I won't be getting rid of them. I will be keeping them, and I think I will try to use them in 2026 a bit more. There you go. That's my promise to myself. Put that over there. And then we get down to the books. Now, the books are all fantastic. I have used all of these books. You will have seen me use this Colour Palettes books. It's a book I probably get asked the most about. It is off of Amazon. If you just go onto Amazon and you just put in a search, Colour Palettes book, it will probably come up. I think it's just like one of their own branded ones. It's got that soft touch cover. It says Sienna Colour Stone. I feel that's probably like not somebody's real name. I feel that's a name they've just given to this. So it's nothing, you know, amazing, but I like having this. I don't use it as much as some people might do, because to be totally honest, I'm just quite happy to pick the colours I like, and I'm quite happy to put any old colours together. So, but if you do struggle with that, it's a really good way of prompting you, getting you started. Sometimes if I really am like thinking, oh, I don't know what I want to do today, I would use it because it gives you a starting point. And sometimes also, even if you don't want to use perhaps the colour, sometimes the image can even give you an idea. So you know, looking at that lovely geometric buildings, that might spark an idea, but it doesn't take up much space. And that was the main reason I wanted the book as opposed to all the other systems. But I have also made my own colour palette cards, which you might have seen in some of my videos, which I do in a way enjoy more because they're more personalised to me, and the photography means something more to me than in these books, which are quite generic. Okay, so that's the colour palettes. And then I did get a few collage books. Now I have two of the Martyrs of Martyrs Maramy books, and I have one Collage Soup. Let's go for the Collage Soup. Collage Soup, Hey Diddle Diddle. It's a really fun book. There will be a video of me going through this. You can see I have used parts of it. I probably haven't used it as much as I thought. It's got a lot of very large images, which, unless you're doing a very large project, you know, aren't going to be as, that's beautiful, but I don't know where I would put that. I think that should go on a canvas. I have used quite a lot of where there's stars and things like that. So it's a book I've used. Oh, there's another. I've chopped the middle of her out. Another one where I've chopped bits out. So I have used bits and pieces of this book, but probably not as much as some of my other collage books. There's another page I've chopped. What have I done there? Oh, that's what I mean. I do like some of these ornate stars. They're quite fun to add into pages. So, but all of this helps you realise what you like and what you don't like, or what what you use and what you don't use. So for me, maybe a lot of big images that I wouldn't use as much, but it's a beautiful book. And then I've got Whispers Between the Music Notes. So this one I wanted because it's a fabulous background book. And also there's words, which I have used some of. You might not know in this which ones I've used, because some of them I've torn the whole pages out, or I've torn like that one out. So I have used this a bit. Again, I haven't used it as much as I thought I would. Sometimes I think I forget I've got it. Because I tend to create my own backgrounds quite a lot with paints and inks and paste and things like that, I don't always remember to use papers for my backgrounds. But this is a beautiful, beautiful book. I do really like it. And I've obviously been using it a bit. And then I also finally have the Botanica book, which is, again, a fabulous... I have used this one quite a lot because flowers are always, things that you're going to need. I like the fact there's a range of colours. I like the different sizes, so it sort of goes big, medium, small. So you can see I have actually used quite a bit. What I try to do as well with these collage books is, if I'm cutting things out, I try to cut it so that the majority of the page stays in, so that you don't have like this where you end up with lots of little bits. I have also got a plastic envelope thing where I put lots of little bits in, but look, you end up with all these bits, which can be a bit of a pain. But I like that you get the different sizes, and I like you get all the different colours. I wanted this one as well, as rather than the one that was just the flowers, because I actually do like these bits behind. So if you wanted to tear the image out and have some of this background bit, you can. And also sometimes you can just use some of these little slithers in background collage as well. So that was why I wanted the ones that were on the background paper, because you can still cut them out properly if you want to, where you haven't got the background. But you can see this is quite a well used book, this one. And again, my bits at the beginning there. So that's quite an older book now. So that is my update. So I think overall wasn't too bad. I think I've used quite a lot. I would say of all the things I got, the soft pastels are probably the one that got the least used. The paints, I don't use all my paints on a regular basis, but I do use them. Probably the most used item has got to be the white the white Copic acrylic. That probably comes out nearly every project I do. And the brushes are beautiful, and they're sort of sat in with my other brushes, so sometimes I will just be grabbing them. I don't necessarily know that it's that one or a different one. So I hope that was enjoyable for you. Oh, I've still got other things. Look, this and it gives you a bit of an idea of how I found these items. And do keep an eye out for my most loved supplies of 2025, which I will be bringing out in December sometime. And I have asked for a lot of arty crafty stuff for my birthday and Christmas again this year, so I will do my more or less my one big haul of the year after Christmas sometime. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, do please give the video a thumbs up and maybe hit that hype button. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could subscribe as well, it'd be fantastic. And at the end of the video, you will see a list of my lovely super supporters who are my YouTube members, and I will put information about that membership in the description box below as well. So until the next time, thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.